Welcome to the deep dive. We sift through the noise to bring you the stuff that, well, really matters.
Great to be here.
So today we're looking at a classic problem, really. Something lots of you probably think about if you love, say, classic design, but also want the latest features.
Yeah, that tension between old and new. How do you get the best tech without messing up the look and feel of something you love?
Exactly. And for motorcycle riders, it often feels like a hard choice. Do you go for the modern safety stuff or stick with that pure, iconic chrome look?
It's tough because adding new gadgets can easily clash with a really established design, especially something like a big American cruiser.
Which brings us to Indian motorcycle.
Yeah.
Famous for those amazing-looking cruisers, very traditional styling. They seem to have figured out a really, really clever way around this.
They have indeed. We're talking next-gen radar tech. But the trick is, it's hidden, like completely hidden in plain sight.
Pretty cool stuff. And we're digging into this mostly based on a recent piece from B&M that really broke down how Indian pulled this off.
It's a great source, really details the innovation.
So our mission today, we want to unpack how Indian managed this blend, tradition and tech. We'll look at what it actually means for you, the rider, for safety, for the experience.
And also why this is such a big deal, not just for Indian, but maybe for the whole motorcycle industry, especially if you care about both performance and style.
Right. Let's get into it.
Okay.
So think about a classic cruiser. What comes to mind?
Oh, loads of chrome. Right. Those big fenders, the tank shape, maybe those pullback bars. Just an iconic silhouette.
Totally. Now picture sticking like a bulky black box right on the front fender of fork.
Ugh. Yeah, no, that would just kill the vibe completely. For a lot of cruiser riders, that aesthetic is paramount. It's not just about getting from A to B.
It's a deal breaker for sure. Like putting solar panels on a vintage Porsche or something. It just feels wrong.
You've nailed it. And that's where Indian's approach is so different from, say, some of the competition.
How so?
Well, you look at brands like BMW or KTM. They've had radar for a bit, which is great tech. But often you see it. It's a visible pod, a module bolted on somewhere.
Right, you can spot it.
Exactly. And while that might be fine on an adventure bike or a sport tour, Indian clearly understood their cruiser riders are, well, let's say, particular about looks.
Understatement.
Right. So a bulky sensor just slapped on that beautiful machine, that wasn't going to fly. It really shows they know their market, their customer. The heritage matters.
It says a lot, doesn't it? They're not just chasing features. They're thinking about the whole package, the feeling.
Precisely. And the proof is in the pudding, or rather, the patent. The B&M article highlights that Indian actually filed a patent for a completely redesigned headlamp.
Just to hide the radar.
Seems so. Specifically engineered to integrate this tech without messing up the classic front end. That's commitment.
Okay, that is interesting. Hiding radar. I mean, radar needs a clear view, right? How do you tuck that inside a classic round headlamp without it looking weird or, not working?
Yeah, it sounds tricky. Like, how do you make it invisible but still functional? It's not like you can just stuck it in there.
My first thought is some kind of weird lens or, I don't know, it sounds complicated.
It is clever. The patent details show they've split the headlamp unit. Ingenious, really.
Split it? How?
So imagine the circular headlamp. The top part, like a crescent moon shape, that handles your normal lights. The LED high and low beams. Looks pretty standard.
Okay, so the lighting function is still there, looks normal.
Right. But the lower section of that circle, that's where the magic happens. That's where they've tucked the radar sensor, completely concealed.
Whoa. Behind the main lens. How does that even work? Wouldn't the glass or plastic block the radar waves? I always assumed radar needed a direct, unobstructed path.
That's the common assumption, and honestly, the key technical breakthrough. It turns out radar waves, the kind they use for these systems, can pass through certain materials, like the plastic lens of a modern headlight, without much interference.
No kidding.
Yep. So the hardware can be genuinely hidden in plain sight. It's sitting right there behind the lens, but you just don't see it.
Wow. So you get that clean, traditional face, that iconic Indian silhouette.
Exactly. But with all this sophisticated tech, these electronic brains lurking just underneath, it's a fantastic blend of form and function. Technology serving the design, not disrupting it.
That really is smart engineering. Okay, so it looks great, keeps the classic vibe, huge win there. But what does it actually do for you on the bike? This isn't just cosmetic surgery, right? It's got to add real functionality.
Oh, absolutely. The looks are just half the story. The functional benefits are massive for the rider.
So what are we talking about?
Well, first off, Indian isn't totally new to radar. They already have some models with rear-facing radar.
Right, for blind spot monitoring, yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen that.
exactly. Which is already a nice safety feature, gives you better awareness. But this new patent, the headlamp one, that confirms they're gearing up for forward-facing radar.
And that enables...
The big one initially is adaptive cruise control, ACC.
Ah, okay. Like in modern cars. That makes sense for big cruisers.
Definitely. If you do any kind of long-distance riding, especially on highways or busy roads, adaptive cruise is, well, it's a game changer. It automatically maintains your distance to the vehicle ahead.
So less fiddling with the throttle and brakes all the time.
Precisely. It reduces fatigue, makes the ride smoother, more relaxed. You can just enjoy the journey more, especially on those big touring bikes like the Roadmaster or Challenger. It takes some of the mental load off.
I can see that being huge for touring riders. Constant speed adjustments can be tiring.
They really can. It lets you focus more on the road, the scenery, just the experience of riding instead of constantly micromanaging your speed in traffic. Makes a big difference on a long haul.
And adaptive cruise is probably just the start, I guess, once you have forward radar.
Oh yeah, that's just scratching the surface. This tech opens the door to a whole suite of advanced rider aids. This is where it gets really exciting for safety.
Like what? Collision warnings.
Exactly. Crash mitigation systems. The radar can detect if you're closing in too fast on something, potentially warn you, or maybe even apply some braking automatically to help avoid or lessen the impact of a collision.
Wow, okay. That's a serious safety upgrade.
Huge. And think about group riding. This tech could lead to smoother systems for keeping bikes together, maintaining safe gaps automatically.
Huh, interesting. Like bike-to-bike communication almost?
Sort of, or at least the radar helping manage spacing within the group makes big group rides potentially safer and less stressful.
And what about down the road? Any other possibilities?
Well, looking further out, you could see this pairing with semi-automatic transmissions. Imagine the bike handling throttle and gear changes smoothly in heavy traffic.
Making city riding on a big cruiser way less work.
Exactly. So what's really fascinating, and you get this from the source material, is how this one single discrete integration hiding the radar and the headlamp isn't just about adding one feature like ACC. It unlocks this whole cascade of possibilities for safety and convenience. It really enhances the whole riding experience.
It's a strategic move then, laying the groundwork.
Absolutely a platform for the future.
So picture this. You're cruising down the highway on, say, a Roadmaster. It looks totally classic, turning heads like always.
Yep, pure Indian style.
But underneath, invisibly, you've got this radar system working away, shadowing traffic, keeping your distance, maybe even watching out for sudden stops ahead. For you, the rider, that sounds like.
Oh, the dream, right?
You get the look and the latest smarts.
That's exactly it. Connecting it back to the big picture, this really offers the best of both worlds. It caters perfectly to that rider who loves the chrome, loves the heritage, but also wants the confidence and convenience of modern rider aids.
No more choosing between style and substance.
Right. You don't have to compromise. You get the legacy of a brand like Indian and the cutting-edge features that are frankly becoming expected now, especially on premium bikes. It just elevates the whole experience, particularly for those long rides on the big tourers.
It makes those bikes even better at what they do best, eating up miles in comfort and style.
Precisely. And, you know, it's not just about Indian catching up technologically. This is a clever strategic play. They've shown a way for heritage brands to integrate future tech without diluting their core appeal. It redefines modern classics.
Sets a benchmark, maybe? Puts pressure on others who have more visible tech.
Could well do. It proves you don't have to show off the tech for it to be effective. It really fits that idea of no road is too long when you have good company. And now that company includes some very smart, very discreet technology working for you.
So wrapping up the core idea, Indian Motorcycle pulls off a brilliant design coup, hiding advanced radar inside a classic headlamp.
Seamless integration solves a major aesthetic challenge.
And crucially, it delivers real benefits, adaptive cruise now, and a whole platform for future safety tech later, all without spoiling that iconic look.
It's a win-win. Style preserved, functionality enhanced.
Which leads to a bigger thought, doesn't it?
It really does. This whole thing raises a fascinating question, and not just for bikes. As technology gets smaller, smarter, more integrated, will the ultimate goal always be to make it invisible? To discreetly weave it into classic, beloved designs to preserve their aesthetic integrity?
Like hiding the wires, essentially.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Or Will we see a shift? Will the technology itself become part of a new aesthetic, something that's maybe openly displayed, even celebrated as part of the design? Like, will visible tech become its own form of style or status symbol down the line?
Hmm, that's interesting. Will we want to hide the smart bits or show them off?
Exactly. It's something for designers everywhere to grapple with. Does tech blend in, or does it define the look?
Definitely something to think about. We encourage you, listening, to mull that over. How might this push-pull between tradition and tech, between hiding innovation and showcasing it, reshape the things you use and love every day? Not just motorcycles, but cars, watches, architecture, anything, really.
Where does thoughtful design go next? Does beauty hide the brains, or are the brains the new beauty?
Food for thought. Until next time on The Deep Dive, keep digging deeper.